What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pancis. If it's your first time tuning in, please be sure to smash that subscribe button. If not, thanks for your continued support. Today we are diving into more undercarriage rust renovation, prevention, everything that's happening with my 260,000 mile Saab from 2004. So let's hop into it. So for starters, guys, if you guys watched one of the previous uploads on this 2004 95, we renovated some of the rear rust near the subframe and the rear wheel wells. But we're gonna get more into the rear of the car, but for now we're actually gonna get into the front of the car in this video. But in the interim, off camera, I did order all new control arms. Now, the control arms that are on the car are totally safe still, but they are very rusted out. They are original to the car. So I figured for a couple $100, I might as well buy new equipment since we're gonna be doing all this work. The car itself, the body itself really isn't rusted out that badly. There's some areas that were bad, but we fixed it and put some POR 15 in there, which is like a really hard rust prevention paint to go over some rusted areas. So nothing rusted through in terms of metal and critical areas and structure of the car. So the car is good. So I figured I'd go ahead and order these, and in the interim, since they've been sitting here, I actually went ahead and painted these again with POR 15. So these things will probably outlast the life of the car. These things won't rust because it comes from the factory with a paint, and then I went and painted again. So in today's video, we're gonna actually go ahead and inspect the front of the car. I've already gone ahead and started working on it and pulled some of the inner fenders apart here to just kind of expose some of the rusted structure here. And as you guys can see, the driver's side isn't so bad. We only have a little bit of rust here, but again, nothing crazy at all. And as you guys can see, this side of the car is nice and dry. So really good shape there, guys, really not bad. Now this side, on the other hand, we have a little bit more rust, and of course it looks like we're leaking again some oil. So here's the rusted area here. We're gonna pull this all apart here, clean this up, and try to re-seal this with some of the POR 15. Now again, this is just all kind of like a surface deal, but you know, we're gonna lift this all up, everything that's kind of rusted here. You see how this is all hiding the rust, and try to fix this. Again, pretty structurally sound, just some pretty bad surface rust on the metal. So not so bad, not too bad. Same thing back here, not too bad. Looks pretty good. So put this back. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to peel off some of this stuff here, and then we're gonna take a wire brush and clean up some of the surface here. Now, I need to figure out also where we're leaking oil. It looks like it could be from the oil pan once again. Crazy to me, crazy. The reason why I think it's oil pan again is because it's really wet down on the bottom, and man, crazy. But what are you guys gonna do? I think I sealed that up again last year, but I've been driving so much on this car. It's crazy how this thing starts to leak so quick. I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Alright guys, you guys can see I neutralized the rusty areas here. We're gonna paint this, and then we'll put some, I guess we'll fiberglass over it. What can we do? And then we gotta fix up the oil leak at some point. But I neutralized all of the metal, and so I'm just gonna start on this side here a little bit with the POR 15 on some of the areas that need it, and then give you guys an update. guys, we're wrapping this up for today, but you guys can see we have a nice coat along the perimeters of where everything was rusting. I put the bottom tray on, but loosely. I'm not going to put everything back together today. I'm going to let this settle overnight since it's still a little tacky in some areas. But we filled in the hole there, painted it, made sure everything is good. And yeah, put the wheels back on, put it in the garage for a couple days, get back to it. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap up this video, but here is the subframe under here. Everything's nice and dry. You can see some of the oil cooler lines that are shoddy, but the rest of it is nice and shiny. It looks really good under here. So I'm gonna put the inner fender liners on, and I guess at some point we're gonna address this fresh oil leak. That's a brand new oil leak as of probably recently, the last week or so. I think it's from the oil pan. It sucks because I did that like a year ago. You know what I think it is last week I was ripping on the car coming home, and there's like this long, like probably 2-mile hill that I was just like ripping on the car for like a good solid minute with turbo full boost, RPMs up there at like 4,000 RPM, just ripping. Pretty steep incline. I probably was going fast, and I think maybe just didn't have a good seal on that, and with some crank pressure just sprung a leak. It's not leaking that bad as you can see, but enough to annoy me. So anyways, you guys can see that we're making some progress with some of this rusting. I mean, fortunately for 260,000 miles, we're not that rusty, but there is the passenger side. This was the worst of it, right over here where I fiberglassed, and it's nice and solid now, so should be pretty good. A little rusty there. I mean, it was, like I said, it wasn't bad at all, guys, so pretty freaking awesome. Pretty freaking cool. So that's a wrap for this video, guys. On the next rust prevention, rust restoration, we're gonna go ahead and replace these rear control arms, upper and lower, and we also have fresh bushings. So again, renovating. We've completely redone all of the front bushings on the car, and obviously the suspension. But on the rear, all we have done is the suspension. We haven't I actually haven't gone ahead and done any of the bushings on the rear. So the subframe should be fine on the rear, but the rest of the suspension components I'm going to be replacing, so should be pretty good. So stay tuned for that. 260,000 miles and going real good, guys. So stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.